Howdy, Red Faction. We're back again. We have another Dev Insights video to kind of, well, preview thing to go over. So with that being said, from the Destiny 2 development team, happy Wednesday, Guardians. We've got a new Dev Sites article dropping in hot today. This time, diving deeper into what the world of weapons will look like in Season 22. From a highly coveted Monte Carlo catalyst to overall balancing philosophy. Here's a breakdown from what players can expect. But first, let's look at balancing. So Monte Carlo, before we get into the balancing, Monte Carlo's getting its catalyst. I wonder how that's going to work. So this is kind of going over all the stuff that when they look at balance patches, kind of what's doing good and what's doing low. So the usage rates compared to its effective kill time. And this is in high level PvP. So hand cannons, pulses, and submachine guns have relatively a high usage rate, but some of them are falling kind of below their intended kills. So hand cannons, auto rifles, and sidearms are meeting their expected kill times and with a low usage rate. Grenade launchers are on the lower end, and bows are on the lower end. Well, because no one wants to really use bows. Pulses are kind of below theirs, and hand cannons are at a relatively high usage because all you PvP jackwagons want to use hand cannons. You can see that the hand cannons slightly edged out in usage by pulse rifles, but our most effective weapon typically, excluding Vex missile class up in the top left corner, Shakes Fist. Yeah, that. I think it's because when people see like certain creators make using fusion rifles, it has a low percentage of people are using them, but they're getting highly effective stuff. We have top 50 weapons broken out individually. So, Vex there at the top. Immortal is in its range. Graviton Lance is lower. The regular Immortal is lower. And this. Let's take a look at if we can find a sidearm on here. Buzzard Adept is really the only sidearm I'm seeing here that's meeting its relatively low usage rate but a high kills effectiveness. That's because the Buzzard is cracked. And then all primary weapon types here. But also some machine gun kills specifically and effectiveness and label higher. You see the messenger depth elevated to the right, no time near dead on the line for kills that were expected, and graviton launch seems slightly negative. The news that we are going to nerf them preemptively began to move downwards compared to the chart we show in the mid-season preview as some players began to experiment. Okay, so this was all before the patch, okay? And then this is after the patch. So Immortal definitely rose up. Lamana kind of went up. Buzzard is still in its relatively low stage. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Pacific weapons over whatever. Okay. The next patch, so yeah, all that. And this is mostly PvP, so kind of see where everything lines up with. Now, a couple of interesting things to note: hand cannons are comparatively much less effective when we added the lower skill levels back into our analysis, and if we remove the high skill levels from the equation, their effectiveness is negative. And instead, the exotic auto rifles are the ones highest up on the chart. This is a good indication as why we keep a close eye on auto rifles, given most of them are receiving a buff to range in Season 22. That said, we saw on the high skill charts that they tend to drop dramatically in effectiveness as you get into the higher skill brackets, where peak shooting and plane cover is what people do. As we'll keep our eye on the numbers, ears peeled for feedback from the community and how they feel. We'll be out there playing alongside you. Now let's get into what to expect for weapons in season 22. In season 22, a while back, we made a swap to infinite primary. It unintentionally generated a bug that caused running double special weapons to drop a heavy ammo to drop more frequently. Um, so while we find some applications of double special to be interesting, particularly builds using double ammo with custom weapon economies like trace rifles and forerunner, providing a flat-out benefit to ammo was negating the trade-off of running double specials. PvE kills with double two special weapons equipped now generate heavy ammo at the same rate as two primaries or one primary, one special. Okay. Reticles. We're continuing to improve our communication behind our hipfire reticles with a few quality of life changes. Replace the perk active hipfire reticle element. The new one should work better at different FOV settings. Add a perk active indicator to symmetry. Move Grand Overture Charge Meter further down the screen to reduce instances of overlapping with other reticle elements. Zoom and damage fall off tuning. In case you missed it in the mid-season patch, we added some major changes to the way zoom and damage fall off interact with three main goals. There. A bunch of stuff all going over, this stuff which we've kind of already seen. So, base zoom was this, with rangefinder it was this, and then the new one will just be the standard. Added a fixed ADS damage fall off to all guns with a damage fall off. In general, this matches the standard zoom value for the weapon types with some exceptions that have been bolded. Okay. Kind of had this one before. Example of how this works. An adaptive hand cannon with a range stat of 70 would previously have its damage fall off at 3.12 ADS or 3.4 if it had rangefinder. Now, regardless if it has rangefinder or not, the damage fall off will start at 3. Okay. So, basically saying, if it had, the damage fall off would change depending on the archetype of the weapon with rangefinder. Now, it's going to stay kind of in between here. So, regardless if it has rangefinder or not, it will be this. No, this is season 21. And then season 22. Special weapon types. Zoom values and sniper are mostly irrelevant to damage falloffs, except at very low ranges on large maps. So, their zoom damage fall off on those will not change. Custom tune exotic changes. Here we go. Like the special weapons above, these have been kept in the weapons near where they currently are, as opposed to maximally buffing them or nerfing them in overarching ranges. Ace of Spades. When Mentamori is active, the previously had a 10% damage fall off penalty. This penalty has been increased to 15%, a slight nerf to offset the buff that I got in the neutral state. Devil's Rune. Firing the laser beam previously had a 20% damage fall off bonus. This has been reduced to 10%, a slight nerf to okay. Vision 0, when this is active, it has a 4.5 ADS damage fall off scalar. Last Word now has a 1.1 damage fall off scalar. Crimson, I like this and this, I really care about, but I don't use this that much, and I kind of got away from using that. So, more stuff for PvE. Increase the reload stat at 0 by 50%, so now they'll reload faster in general. In PvE, damage increases. A heavy burst will be a new subfamily, specifically for Warden's Law. Fires a 2-round burst. Bows, change to the reload animation. That means applying reload scalars on top of high reload stat will still have an effect. So bows can generally go longer. Increase projectile velocity at full draw so that projectiles will continue to perform as if they were hit scan at longer distances. Lightweight bows equalize the full draw projectile velocity with precision bows. SMGs fix the RPM stat display to quickly show a 720 RPM. Sidearms reduce the base damage on aggressive sidearms by 2. What does that mean for me? this sidearms. We're looking for aggressive burst sidearms. Adaptive. Where are the aggressive frame sidearms? I'm currently doing something on another game, so I can't really look at this. When we made the change to range values for sidearms, it can be prevalent very quickly that aggressives that currently have an extremely forgiving body shot TDK were out of band. We reduced their base damage so that you no longer kill in 3 bursts for only body shots, making them less forgiving in exchanges for the increased damage fall-off distance they receive. Pulse rifles. The BXR never felt right with zoom at 20 and will no longer be a balance concern in terms of engagement ranges. The time has come to put it back where it belongs. So now it has a 20 zoom. What does it currently have now? Zoom. What the fuck is the zoom? 18. So now it has a higher zoom rate. Honestly, never noticed it. Fix the visual bug causing the impact stat to display incorrectly. This is cosmetic. Only damage per felt is unchanged. Fix the impact stat on the Chameleon. Oh, okay. Fusion rifles. Fix the issue where Adept Masterworks and Handsome Chicken Burst were decreasing the damage dealt by fusion rifles when they changed the charge time stat. Wave frame heavy grenade launchers. The size and damage of self-damage AoE is now reduced. This should make it easier to fire more safely. Okay. A lot of sword changes. Not going over that. Exotic weapons. Monte Carlo. We finally did it. It was mechanically the most complex catalyst we've ever done, requiring a host of custom animation things, and a lot of things had to be done that we have never done for a weapon before, but we hope you enjoy. Okay. Huh? Oh. So, hold on. Okay, well this is a solar, of course. So after getting a charged melee kill, the bayonet gets locked. So, okay, so basically that is, okay. So, it has to be a powered melee final blow on an enemy. So let's say you, because I have to think about this for Warlock. So if I get, I use it, get a powered melee kill, then I can run up an enemy and just stab them, and it like almost insta kills them. Okay. Quicksilver Storm players have reported that it felt like the ammo was not being loaded into Quicksilver Storm at the correct time. We investigated and discovered a misalignment with the animation and the ammo being loaded. Okay. Dead Man's Tail. Fix the displayed impact stack. Okay. Rework the the two-tailed fox catalyst. Third tail. The performance of this weapon was just a little bit off, so we changed it to fire a third rocket following the second rocket instead of at the same time, which helps to lean harder into the Three Tails fantasy. Now it's 3 bursts instead of just 1 and 2 rockets at the same time. Okay. Fix an issue where Whisper of Fissures gets the kill. It does not count for the Hail Barrage stacks. We've also buffed the weapon performance in PvP and using Hail Barrage. Whisper of Fissures detonation now generate a Hail Barrage stacks if the stasis crystal was created by this weapon. Shiver Quiver now activates when slowing enemies. We increased the slow stacks from 40 to 60 when hitting players directly with Hail Barrage. Means this will allow the freeze if the 2 Hail Barrage hits the same player. If 2, okay. Lemonarch. Lemon has been a thorn in the side of many high-end PvP players. The massive chunk of damage hit hard, and the long damage over time duration kept you out of the fight. Well, it felt like eternity. We decided to adjust this with the facts at the same time by shifting it to the same damage profile as a lightweight bow. Now deals 85 damage on impact to the body and 136 to the head against players. We've also reduced the damage over time from 3 seconds down to 1.75. makes it significantly less painful to be hit by this weapon. The damage over time also deals the same damage as before against players, divided into 6 ticks instead of 8. We also have increased the damage over time in PvE by 50%. In PvE, this should result in a slight DPS increase, with the reduced impact damage being offset by the faster draw time and increased damage over time. So, reduce the draw time, reduce the body damage, increase the crit damage, and change the poison effect. Vex Mythoclast reduced its fire rate to match high impact auto rifles, and increase the damage against minor combatants and majors. Okay. Now it's 5 and 5, so now it does 20 instead of 21. Touch of Malice, increase the final round damage, decrease the self damage. The final round damage can no longer kill the user. Increase the health awarded by Touch of Mercy. Set up Touch of Mercy to work like Unrelenting. Players and Guardians and major commands count more towards activation and increase the time between kills. The Ball of Darkness now appropriately deals arc damage and will blind combatants and stun unstoppables. Malfeasance fixed an issue where Vorpal wasn't displaying. Cloud Strike reduced the lethal kill distance from the lightning strike against players. Okay. Don't care about Wicked Implement. Bipod reduced the damage penalty by 25%. No longer a time limit after kills in which you must activate the perk or get another kill for Envious Assassin. The perk will now activate if the magazine is overflowed. It will stop activating once you hit the maximum size of 2.5 or greater. Enhance will now provide a fraction more ammo per kill instead of a longer window time. Now, when I want to see, okay, so under pressure, reduce the maximum accuracy cone scaler. Okay, so under pressure is a little bit more of something used, especially for fusions. Shoot to loot no longer triggers the reload when shooting a special brick that could not be picked up while also having an overflowed weapon equipped. Explosive damage now interacts with orbs of power. No longer deactivates from healing. Fall damage or being shot by allies. Ambush? What? Oh, the ambush origin trait. Oh, okay. Explosive light. Fix a bug where the enhanced versions was granted 2 stacks on the initial. Okay. Chill clip. Reduce the slow stacks. And Wolfpack rounds no longer trigger this perk. Wait, that was going on? Oh, because there are. Okay. Weapon progression earning what's changing. Okay, this is interesting. While Shiro Chi style weapon level farming is not ideal, instead of nerfing that type of behavior and taking the option away from players, we've decided to buff the weapon level progression attained through more meaningful methods like activity completions and PvP kills. We're also adding a currency-driven method to directly advancing the weapon's level. Since opportunities to get kills in PvP are far lower than what's possible in PvE, we'll be increasing the amount of progression earned by defeating Guardians in PvP activities in Season 22. We're boosting the activity completion progress against several activity types. Crucible, Trials, Dares, Wellspring, Gambit. Oh my god, they mentioned Gambit. Holy crap. Platinum score completions on Legend and Master Solo Lost Sectors. We're adding the capability for players to progress weapons that exceed the current level to roll over to the next level. This issue has been a prominent talking point when looking at crafting for a while, because the way the weapon level progression functions, due to the necessity to store weapon level and progress on each individual weapon, the weapon leveling system could not be set in a similar fashion on how the Season Pass level works, or how the character level worked in the past. The system we're currently using can be a bit fragile. It was a key part in the Revision Zero API mishaps that occurred in Season of Seraph. Due to the risk and some technical gremlins, we deprioritized this work in favor of deep site changes we made in Season 20 and Season 21. However, you'll finally be getting this rollover behavior in Season 22. As a result of this rollover change, weapon leveling through continuing activities could see a large overall increase in efficiency, not just limited to specific activity types that we've explicitly modified for Season 22. To roll out the weapon progress changes, will also be adding the capacity to directly increase the weapon level system through currency expenditure. Crafted and enhanced weapons will both receive a new mod slot in their weapon details, where you can spend Glimmer and enhancement cards to boost the level of the weapon. This mod will increase the weapon's level directly, leaving your existing progress towards the next level untouched. While there is no cap to how far you can boost the levels to, the cost of boosting this will increase relatively to the level of the weapon. Weapon usage is meant to be the main path for increasing weapon level. However, with the restrictions of how many weapons you can level at a time, and the always increasing expansion of the amount of weapons that have a level, we want to provide an alternative method to leveling up your weapons. Harmonic resonant and harmonic allies will be decrypted as a required material that will no longer be obtained during this Mantle Season 22. We'll be planning to remove these materials entirely from the game at some point, but until then, your remaining materials will be available to be exchanged for the Glimmer at Werewolf. Neomuna pattern. So if you still don't have some of the Neomuna weapons, you'll be able to get them. Neomuna vendor will drop Neomuna weapons. This will be retroactive if you've already done it. Pinnacle missions will score, for the first time each week. Throne World Vendor Engram will also receive the same behavior as in Throne World Deep Sight weapons. Again, this will be retroactive. Season 22 will include a bug fix to the underlying Deep Sight drop system that manifested from the major overhaul we did in Lightfall. This bug should decrease the Deep Sight drop rate as you near completion of a pattern set. Although this Deep Sight bug on its own would normally have a low impact in Deep Sight behavior, the problem was exuberated when coupled with the lack of Deep Sight sources. We believe crafting more in line with the original vision since launch, so we're making necessary changes for a larger crafting related in final shape. That's a wrap on this one. See you on the showcase and send us clips of Monte Carlo in action once it gets the catalyst. So going over Under Pressure, might feel better. And it's more used for, special weapons. Cloud Strike kind of getting a little bit of a nerf, which is good because really don't give about that thing. Le Monarch, good. I don't want to see that thing anymore. This is interesting because it felt weird when you would shoot the twin-tailed. I always want to say twin-tailed, two-tailed fox, and it was like, here's one rocket and then two more fired at the same time. Now it'll be three, so now I can go boom, boom, boom. Okay. Monte Carlo's thing was kind of interesting. Swords can go fuck themselves. This kind of feels a little bit better. The zoom is better. I didn't even realize they changed it. Sidearms, I guess. Bows, great. Hand cannons, meh. A bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, that was this week's Dev Insight. Tomorrow I will be recording the TWAB, because calling it TWID sounds so stupid. Does that mean Marathon's going to have TWIM? I can't wait to hear people say, today we're going to be reading the TWIM. Because TWID sounds weird. TWAB sounds better for this. But the TWIM. Guys, be sure to subscribe to Quiet Coyote when Marathon drops so we can read the TWIM. Whatever. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in tomorrow's video, and we will be live on Twitch on Sunday to do some good old trials and hopefully get the Grandmaster so I can get a Buzzer to Depth. I'll get more at least. So that being said, Red Faction, why can't I speak? With that being said, Red Faction, have a good one. See you later.